between about -10 and -15 degrees. Still have a wind chill advisory in effect here until noon today, so it is going to stay cold throughout the day. Lots of lake effect snow going on to the north, but we're not seeing any of that here in the valley. Winds are out of the southwest, so that's not really conducive to lake effect snow here. We'll see mostly sunny skies and warmer temperatures, about 20 degrees today, but winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour, unfortunately, are going to keep those wind chills in the single digits throughout the day. And then there are multiple other snow chances showing up here as we end the week. Some accumulation of snow is expected, and travel impacts are expected as well. It's a storm system that I'll talk to you about in more detail coming up in the next half hour.
It is another frosty, wintry, snowy morning here, which is only the perfect weather when you have nowhere to go and can just watch it out the window. All right, hello. So as you saw, it is quite the blustery winter day. So I've got on my cozy outfit, the linen shirt underneath, and just being completely lazy. And this is like my favorite spot to sit. The dogs know and they come over and everything, and that's why I have my mess here. But I made a little bit of a list because I wanted to talk to you about manifesting and goal setting for the year. I think I'm gonna zoom this a little bit more. I feel like it's too far away. But yeah, this is gonna be a chatty vlog, I think. But we're gonna talk about starting the year off right. Okay, a little better. I feel like we're a little closer and I'm a little more comfy. So yeah, every year, everybody starts off with all these lofty goals. I'm going to the gym every day this year. You never do any of that. And why? Why don't we actually do that? Because we don't actually plan for it and do it right. It's my thought of it. You don't just set out and say you're going to run a 4K the next morning or something, right? You have to build up to it and set mini goals in between. So, while it's very important to set goals, I truly believe that, throughout the year, and they can be simple or big. If you don't set goals, you're going to remain stagnant, and nobody wants that. But I think they need to be in steps that you can actually take to get there. So in the corporate world, like think of work or what have you, a company doesn't just set a goal and say, I'm gonna make $1 billion next year, or I'm gonna land this contract. No, they have a work plan and they set out like goals and things that they need to meet to keep the client, to grow to more clients. Like there's like 100 little things that go into being $1 billion company, if not more than that even. So I think it's important when you set a goal for the new year to be realistic. Well, realistic's I don't know, one of those terms that you can take a million ways. Like, you need to reach for the stars, because otherwise it's not really a goal. If you can already do it and it's realistic, then it's not really a new goal, right? But you need to be able to set down the mini parts of it. So while I'm doing a chatty vlog here and like telling you how to set goals for yourself, I'm not actually sharing my own goals, but let's use the example of the run a 4K. I don't want to run a 4K, trust me. If I'm running, run with me, because something's not far behind. But I've just never been someone who enjoyed running. Maybe that'll change. I used to not be someone who enjoyed gardening, and that changed in the last couple years. So never say never, right? But if you want to run a 4K and you're a couch potato, you're obviously going to start by getting off the couch, right? So start with the little steps toward things. So set steps that you can take to actually get to your goal. I made myself a list to like go through. You need to have self-care and self-love to get to your goal as well, because if you don't believe you can do it, or actually have the determination to do it. Determination is a form of self-love. It takes self-love to get off the couch and be determined and get things done and be productive, because you're planting the seed in your future self. So it's self-love. But if you can't believe in yourself and do that and take care of yourself, then you're not going to accomplish the goal. So that's a very important, if you don't already have that, that's step one to any goal setting, and that you need to always make sure that you're constantly learning and nourishing your brain too, whether it be taking a language class or watching a documentary or reading. Just keeping your mind active and doing things. Coco her goal was to nap more. I think she's nailing it. She's nailing it. Dante's goal was to get his ball thrown like 100 times. He needs to get me to cooperate more, but he's trying. He's trying. So you need to always learn and keep dreaming and nourish the mind, whether that be reading or learning new things, trying new things. Like I tried the gardening. I want to try more fix-it projects this year, and like home improvement things, and try and be able to do things myself instead of have to call a handyman. I have a neighbor who actually came to me over the holidays and asked for the number of my handyman. So I'm thinking, okay, does she need a plumber, plaster? What does she need? The woman literally said to me to hang a picture. Please don't be that woman. Please be more empowered than the woman who needs a handyman and is going to pay someone to hang a picture for her. I beg of you. I'm not trying to judge if you're like actually incapable, but come on. We need to do things and nourish our own souls and have self-worth and be able to take care of ourselves as women. Not, well, there's some guys even probably too who would call handyman to hang a picture. Don't be that person. Please don't be that person. At least try first. At least try. I don't know. That one got me. And then, we're all gonna mess up eventually. We fall off the wagon, we sleep in late, we skip going to the gym. We're always gonna be that person. Don't beat yourself up about it, because it's human nature. You step off the side, just get back on. Just get back on track and go back where you were. And it'll all work out in the end. And the other thing towards your goals is to always be grateful. No matter where you are right now, whether it's where you want to be or it's not where you want to be, it's where someone else wants to be. So you should always be grateful for that. Grateful makes you positive also. And positivity out in the universe brings in more. Whatever you're throwing out brings in more of the same. So always be grateful, regardless. You have a bad day, but you still have a home. You have a bad job, but you still have an income. So take steps and look for a different job. So those are my big tips for being able to set goals for the new year, or anytime really. And I realize that this video is also late going out in the year. I feel very wadded up the way I'm sitting here, but this is how I sit. This is one of my secret little in thing. This is one of my favorite spots to sit and read, and I've got my books stacked here because I'm currently in the middle of, well, not in the middle of two, and need to start one because I just finished my novel. I always have something of self-help going, something of learning something going, and a novel going. I like to read, and that is actually, I said I wasn't going to share many goals of my own, just to not bore you with them, but I do like to read, and one of my goals actually was to try and read more this year, because I had the goal of hitting, I forget how, 20 some books last year. And I would sit there and read, and then I just wouldn't find the time. Sometimes I would sit there and I'd get through a book in a day or a day and a half. And then other times life would just get in the way and I wouldn't sit down and read for like another 2 weeks. And it would just drive me crazy. But yeah, I definitely want to get through more books. So some of these every year, self-help wise, I try and read something self-help wise, whether it be business growth or just growth. Like I read Atomic Habits. But every year at the beginning of the year, I read Manifest again since it's come out in 2020. Just to refresh, like on setting goals and manifesting and things. She breaks it down into a 7-step to living your best life. It's Roxy Nafusi. I probably butchered that. She's a British lady, but I'm not sure if she's British by ancestry. But it breaks it down into 7 steps. So she says to be clear in your vision, remove fear and doubt, which comes along with self-love. She's very big on that. Align your behavior. Another thing of setting goals, like when you write down your goals, I like to write them down. Well, like the smaller steps, obviously you have to write down as like a to-do list. But to write down your goals of what you're going to actually accomplish, the big part of it for the year, I like to list them as that I already did them. I already did it. So instead of writing something like I want to or I will, when I go back to look at it the next year, I want it to say in 2024, and then whatever I want to do. But I say I already accomplished it. Like I ran a 4K. In 2024, I ran a 4K. I will not have run a 4K. But it's better to list them as like that you already did it. So, yeah. And then you need to overcome fear. Step out of your comfort zone. Take steps you wouldn't necessarily take. Embrace gratitude. Step 5, turn envy into inspiration. So if you're envious of what someone else has, make it your inspiration instead of letting that negative vibe of envy go into your play. And then number 7 is to trust the universe. So she breaks it down into 7 steps, and it's always good to have a reminder of that. So I like to read that at the beginning of each year, but I'm going to switch over soon. I'm up to step 6 again already here. So just like a refresher in that. And then I always like to read something that's educating the mind. So I got this book on Amazon that I started. This is toward a goal that is a personal goal, which is always a personal goal, to try and eat better. There are so many preservatives and just crap in our food, especially in America here. And the best diet out there, regardless of any of these new fad diets or anything like that, is the Mediterranean diet. Tried and true, worked for 1,000 years. Mediterranean diet, best diet out there. Heart diets and everything are based on the Mediterranean diet anyway. And I try and go with that, and like I really want to try and eliminate preservatives and eat more fresh and local food this year. So I did pick up this one, the Mamma Mia diet, which it's not really a diet. It's the Mediterranean diet basically, but it's focused toward Italian cuisine. So being someone who read that French women don't get fat, French girls don't get fat, that's just basically the Mediterranean diet as well. But this is the Italian kind of version of that. And it was written by 2 doctors whose names both actually happen to be Paola, which is Paula in Italian. So yeah, I've started that, and it's really good, like refresher, and there's a lot of recipes in there for you. So I will link that down below should you be interested, along with Roxy's book. And then for my mindless read, I haven't started this one yet. I just finished a book. It's in the case over there. I'm not sure what the author's name was, but I will link it down below should you be interested. It was called These Tangled Vines. This woman lives in America, and she's taking care of a paraplegic father. And she gets this odd phone call that her actual father, which she didn't know, died in Italy and left her a vineyard. It's a very nice story. goes through like a whole kind of back in history romance thing of how she came to be then. But anyway, I ordered this book. If any of you have ever read Wicked, you'll know that there's a whole series actually of Wicked from the author of Wicked. There was like Son of a Witch, Ugly Duckling, or Beautiful Swan or something. I don't know. They took nursery rhymes and they twisted them into adult stories, kind of. Not really nursery rhyme. Well, the Ugly Duckling one was a nursery rhyme. Wicked, though, was the Wizard of Oz, obviously. But I read the preview for this, and I didn't realize when I got it that it was a tween book. But that's fine. I mean, it's from Mindless Reading, so it's probably one that'll go fast. And I also didn't realize it was by Disney. But I don't know. I might get hooked, and there's a whole series of them, so I might end up ordering more. It's a series called A Twisted Tale. But this one actually was called Once Upon a Dream. I'll link it down below as well if you are interested, so you can find it. And it's the only one I have yet. I didn't start it yet, but I will be starting it this week, especially with the frigid temperatures outside. But what attracted me to it was the kind of twist premise thing. It's kind of like a twist on the fairy tale. It's like, what if Sleeping Beauty never woke up? I can't read in this lighting without my glasses. It should be simple. A dragon defeated, a slumbering princess in a castle, a prince poised to wake her. But when the prince falls asleep, as soon as his lips touch the fair maidens, it's clear that this fairy tale is far from over. So it kind of goes through, there's more to it, but kind of goes through like, what if Sleeping Beauty didn't wake up? So those are what I am reading right now. I track my reading on Goodreads, an app on the phone called Goodreads, and hopefully I hit my goal of that. And those were a couple of my goals. I guess I did end up telling you a few of them, but I have more than that. And I want to learn more with the gardening thing and that too, but some of my goals are just personal. I also think too that positivity breeds positivity. So if you throw your goals out there, and it's the internet, let's be realistic, I don't want negative vibes coming back at them. So you need to just keep your head down and vibe on sometimes towards your goals and accomplish them yourself. But in any regard, let me know. I know this is late, but there's a second chance coming up to start your goals again with Chinese New Year's. So if you've already fallen off the wagon, get back on that wagon. And I realized that this was a very chatty vlog as opposed to how I usually do the vlogs, but there is just not much going on this January. It has been wicked cold weather. It's just hunkering down with the dogs. Dante found himself on a pillow over there, and Coco's sleeping here, and I'm in my cozy Sherpa outfit and just being warm in the house. So yeah, that is the vibe going on. But in any regard, let me know down in the comments what your goals are, or if you set goals. Don't let me know what your goals are. Keep your positivity to yourself. Just strive toward them. You got this. Wear your crown high. And just let me know how you look at goal setting. Did it help you to like think about, have you ever thought maybe to set them in like smaller increments or something like that? So let me know that down in the comments. Did you set goals, or do you just forgo it altogether? What are you reading? Is reading one of your things, or you don't even care about reading? And what's the weather like where you are? Always want to know about the weather, because, you know, I don't know. We're from all over the place. Let me know where you're at from down in the comments. So in any regard, thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you got anything out of this whatsoever. Let me know if you like the chatty vlogs, maybe every once in a while. And I'll see you next week with a not so chatty vlog. Hit subscribe. Thanks for watching.